Hello, everybody. Welcome to round 9 of Division 2 here in Zoom Racing League. We are here at Circuit of the Americas for the United States Grand Prix. Very, very exciting track, one of the most famous in Zoom Racing League. We've had plenty of fantastic action here, and here we are. So, we have 3.425 miles, or freedom units as I like to call them, 20 turns and 2 DRS zones. Lots of elevation changes into turn 1. I believe it's close to 100 meters that rises, and then plenty more throughout the rest of the track. We are here for qualifying very soon. I believe we're just loading in now, but this is no normal qualifying. We have our short qualifying, of course, and then we have our sprint format qualifying. So that's 10 laps of just straight out push. Looks a little bit cloudy, but that's alright. We got lighting here in the commentator's booth. I'm Nathan Doan, your host tonight, and I am finally joined back. Once again, he returns. Magnus and Cube, welcome back to the booth.
Hello, everyone. It has been a while. Last time I commentated was the Portuguese Grand Prix, I think, in December. So, first time in 2024, I commentate. And we've got one of the most difficult tracks on the entire game, I think, to get a lap together. 3.4 miles, 20 corners, most of them to the left, and a very different feel of a circuit compared to your usuals, your Barcelonas, your Paul Ricards. This is absolutely not a test track. Every type of corner around here, very different. As the first corner, over 100 feet in elevation change, 41 meters into a left-hand hairpin that widens out, that drops dramatically into turn 2. And you've got the famous S's, copied off Silverstone, and then Hockenheim Motodrome section before a right-hand clone of the famous turn 8 at Istanbul Park in Turkey. Lots of elements from other tracks, and especially other Tilke tracks, because Hermann Tilke, the designer of this circuit, has also been responsible for the Istanbul Park and the redesign of the Hockenheim Ring in 2002. So this track does share a bit of the DNA in his older track designs. Is the widening turn 11. Very wide on the entry, allows you to take a lot of different lines into it. But enough about the track. We've got a different weekend format for this week's Grand Prix. There will be the qualifying session that will set the grid for the sprint race, which will be 10 laps of this circuit. The full race will be 28 laps. These 10 laps of the sprint will determine the grid for the final Grand Prix, which will play to, the normal point system. But the sprint will play to, sorry about that, an 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 point system. The top 8 gets points in the sprint. Everyone will get points in the race. Nathan Dome, what do you think about the circuit?
Well, honestly, personally, it's one of my favorite tracks. I know it's very difficult, lots of tricky traction zones, but I think for racing, it's one of the best, and it's just, very fun technical track to get right in time trial and stuff like that. I'm sure most of the drivers here agree. Looking at the standings real quick, we have an Alpine 1-2. And, Alpine leads both of the standings in constructors and drivers. We don't have it up here, but we have Stelios ahead with 188, and then his teammate behind with 161, who's just 1 point ahead of Simon Colston, who missed, I believe it was, our random race. But I'm on board with Labib, one of our reserve drivers, I think, unless I believe he replaced Joel Guron full time. But he is going through the S's right now, as you said, copied off of Silverstone. And a little bit gloomy, so I don't know how that affects his lap time here, but it looks like he's taking it pretty nicely. And he's invalidated his lap, as I said that. But, go ahead.
Sorry about that, but this Circuit of the Americas, lots of opportunities to cut the circuit. It is one of a new breed of circuits, very wide, very open, and with lots of asphalt runoff. This is something that you don't normally get at a classic circuit like Barcelona, Imola, Monza, or Suzuka. these modern tracks, lots of asphalt runoff, not a lot of gravel traps, not a lot of opportunity to really be punished from a massive mistake, but there is the possibility of a lot of corner cutting around this circuit. Potential zones are turn 1. I think in the S's you can cut exit of turn 9. Just ask Max Verstappen about it. Turn 11, turn 19, which Labib is going through, and turn 12, which Fernando Alonso, I think, was forced off the track in the 2021 race, if I remember correctly, or turn 12. But yeah, Nathan, go on again.
Yes, we have our first lap being set, and the Alpine setting a 132.527, pretty similar to what we saw as bankers in Division 1, expecting his teammate to go a little bit faster. We have Logan PSQ, who went fastest for a moment. He DNF'd from last night's Division 1 race after a little bit of a spin in, I believe it was turn 13, out of turn 13. But yeah, so safety car percentage here. I mean, in this game you don't normally see too many safety cars nowadays, but we had 3 last night in Division 1, so maybe some potential safety cars out of turn 1 is a good opportunity for a safety car to happen. But right now we just got the first laps, and surprisingly Stelios Repos does not go fastest. He goes about 3/10 and a bit more behind his teammate, but we know that he normally does a hot lap, does a recharge, and then somehow goes like 2-3/10 quicker on his second lap, so expecting some from him. John Ranger is going through the S's now, expecting him to go close to P1, if not P1. Very, very quick around this track is John Ranger. And for his second weekend returning in the pits right now in Ferrari, we have Sid. Sid is, oh, we're so happy to have him back, aren't we? I mean, a little bit unlucky last race. He was fighting for a podium with Avira, and then they got into a little bit of collision, and that set them back quite a bit. But maybe, just maybe, we could see Sid on the podium once again.
Yeah, hopefully he is on the podium. I've raced him before in D2. Would be great if he wins this race or gets on the podium, but let's watch John Ranger here. He's gone purple both first and second sectors. We will wait. He has a couple of corners to go. This final sector copied off the Motodrome at the Hockenheimring before this very long Istanbul Park turn 8 clone. Before turn 19, you can ask Max Verstappen how to invalidate, which Ranger hasn't done here. And then turn 20, very slow, up the hill, and then it is going to be a short run to the line as he goes second, John Ranger.
Yeah, it's second only by 25 milliseconds, so not bad at all from John Ranger. Stelios Repos is about to start his second hot lap, 100% battery, and he's about ready to go here. So we'll go on board with him, and how about you take us through a lap?
Right, let's begin. Turn 20, exit this left-hander, a short run to the line, and once you can see the uphill turn 1, that's the corner you're preparing for. Braking at about 50. You can brake very light here. You can brake very deep. And it's uphill, and then it drops steadily down on the exit. Difficult to put the power down before a flat right kink into the S's. Flat, 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 and then a slight lift for turn 6. This long right-hander before it tightens up into 7. And then in this uphill chicane that gives drivers a lot of... That gives drivers the chance to rest after that first section. A short straight into turn 11. A tight hairpin. Second one of the circuit before exiting that turn 11 hairpin onto the longest straight. First DRS zone. And you'll be hitting a speed of about 200 miles an hour at the end of the straight. So it's 199, so about 320 kilometers an hour. Then it's turn 12, a left-hander into a double right, 13, and then leads straight into 14, and then this leads straight into 15 of another very tight left-hander. Incredibly technical, but incredibly good for wheel-to-wheel racing. That section copied off the Hockenheimring, and this section here copied off Istanbul Park, turn 8. Beautiful sweeper before turn 19. A super fast left-hander, drops downhill before the final corner. A tight 90-degree left, or sort of. And that's up to the line here at Austin. Stelios goes P2 with a 132.546.
Yeah, slotting right in between T-Nell and John Ranger. So, surprisingly, but, also kind of expected that an Alpine is leading, T-Nell is the one leading, and he's coming out of the pits now for his second lap, but his first lap has stood in front of his teammate. So, maybe we could see another T-Nell win, or maybe just another Stelios win. Either way, the two Alpines have been dominant this season. Our ex-championship leader after last round, Simon Colston, 1 point behind T-Nell in the standings. He would look to set a better time so he can fight back for second place, maybe even first place if something goes wrong with Stelios Repas. Out of the people who haven't set a lap yet, Sid is going through turn 11 right now, so he's on his first hot lap and no invalidation so far. So what will it be for the man returning to Ferrari pretty much almost all the way through the season? He's got this race and the next race to really show the team principals what he can do for next season if he decides to go full-time once again. The two Mercedes...
Sid does
go ahead.
Return for hopefully Sid does return full-time, and you are right about Labib being on his outlap, and apologies about there, Nathan. Go on.
Yeah, so the two Mercedes have not set a lap yet. Matteo, we expected him to be kind of fighting for the title, but after last round it kind of threw him out of contention, so he'll be fighting for that P4 spot with, I think it's Mac, and yeah, he's in the pits right now, has not set a lap, so I wonder what's going on there. We have BMF returning from, he was once in Red Bull, replaced by John Ranger midway through the season, and now he's with, I believe he's reserving for Aston Martin tonight.
Alrighty. So, to start his lap, let's ride on board with our provisional pole man on the curve for turn 1. And then it's going to be find that apex, the very late one, and then you go down the hill through 2, 3, through a beautiful section of sweepers. Lots of room to cut here, the pressure is on. And it is 5 milliseconds up in the first sector. This, if he improves here, this could be a pole lap right here. Out of turn 9, 10, and then heavy braking into 11. This decides if he gets a good run out of this corner into the longest straight on the circuit. It's going to be foot flat to the floor as he prepares to brake for turn 12. You can cut this corner a little bit. Beautifully done there. The middle sector, though, 2 tenths down. That is not an improvement. He has a couple of more extra corners to navigate before ending this lap. And we'll see whether he improves or not. On his 132.527. Still top of the session, remember. And it is 2 more corners, and it's a little bit cautious for 19 before the final corner, and he bails out of it. He's not improving. As Simon Colston, wow. A 132.2. And then Rangers on a lap here. Stay on board with the Red Bull driver. And he is 2.5 tenths up. This could be the lap here that puts him at or close to pole. See, to turn 15 and then 16 exiting out. This section here, important to see if you've got your car set up correctly. And then 2 more corners remain. Flat this fast left-hander. There's 1 more difficult left-hander. And then it's going to be a short run to the line. It is a 132.177 for John Ranger. He goes to the top of the pile. And Avira puts himself in P5. Hudson Poole, the Red Bull team principal, is going to be happy about that.
Yes, very respectable lap times from both of the Red Bulls. They look very, very stable throughout the corners. John Ranger setting a time that is about 1/10 quicker than Simon Colston. So like I said, John Ranger has plenty of pace around this track, and that's kind of a theme for Red Bull as a whole. In Division 1, Red Bull crushed it this Division 1 race, so maybe we'll see something similar in Division 2. But right now, they have maybe some of the toughest opponents out there. They got the 2 Alpines who could, they could 1-2 lots of the races that they've participated in, haven't done so, but they also got the likes of Simon Collison, Mac, even Dan and Mateo. So they got a lot to do if they want to have as successful results as they did in Division 1. But that pretty much concludes it for the second hot laps that have been set. I believe BMF is not on one. Do we have Logan on one? We might, but he's invalidated. Veer is going to be on an in-lap. So right now, looking a little bit cloudy. Track will still be evolving, so we will have to see what the times will be as we go into our final laps. But of course, as we have said, we do have a sprint race later on. And
we indeed do.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think I am. The sprint race does it does set your position for the feature race.
Yeah,
so.
it does set your position for the main race, and we have Shry, a long-time D2 driver, right out of the pits as he begins his lap.
He's just doing his outlap here.
Yep. The outlaps are coming out. It's a quick change of tires and then people preparing.
Something I've noticed, if you go just a little bit offline, you'll see so many marbles on the tires, like especially in turn 1 and turn 11. You really start to see those, and they do affect your grip just a little bit. But if you stay online, it shouldn't be a problem.
It's not as bad as Spain about the marbles.
Oh, Spain
that is the worst track for them.
Yeah, Spain is absolutely horrendous. We do have an Alpine though. TNL is warming his tires. I think we could see maybe another provisional pole lap for the Alpine driver. The Red Bull of John Ranger and the Red Bull of John Ranger only, I should say, has not gone out for his lap, and I don't think he'll have time to go out for another lap. So he is done in qualifying. Simon Colliston is out for his lap. Both of the Alpines now out for their laps. Pretty much everyone is out for their laps other than Mateo and Kiwi and John Ranger. And I don't think we have any qualifying bans. I will check, but other than that,
Mateo has a qualifying ban.
Got it. And then let's see here.
Look at Logan here cutting the entire track to gain time.
Yeah, I've been punished for that once before, so we'll see. And he's on the battery too, on his... Okay, I think he's turned it on. No, it's still on. I hope...
Yeah, I think he's probably just forgotten.
Yeah, that's going to affect him quite a bit. There
I think he can just recharge by braking. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh. As he cuts
He's
more
just cutting.
corners.
He needs to get a time. He needs to get a time in here, Logan.
Yeah, 20 seconds to the line. He's gonna have to hurry it up. I think he's
gonna have enough time. Yeah, I think he might just have enough time because the run to the line is incredibly short here at Coda. And he has turned the battery on once again. And he should have enough time for another run, but will it be faster? Probably not. 3, 2, 1, and it was
but
enough
he
time.
Invalidated before his lap started.
Oh,
so
he's bottled it already. Yeah,
yep.
all that for nothing indeed.
All right,
we see
go ahead.
Both the Alpines, 3.5 tenths up, they could unseat John Ranger from provisional pole here. He's the only man to have done his lap in the top 10 and not have gone out. And TNL doesn't go to pole, 132.210. Stellius Rapace is about half of the lap left to go. Simon Colston as well with half of the lap left to go. Avira, Mac, 400s down in the middle sector. We'll see if he finds any time. And that is an improvement of 132.5. That's unseated. Stellius Rapace to P5. But he will be going faster than that. He's purple to the middle sector, but he's only a 10th quicker, interestingly. Dan puts that Williams up into P6. Sid is up into P8. Now unseated by combined YouTuber and the other Williams, up into P8. Then we have drivers, let's see here. Stelios Repas not taking any liberties with the track limits. He knows he's going to get this one on the books, and it is up to the line, and it is in pole. It's a 132.415. And Simon Colston has invalidated. Labib here is not on a lap. Big Mama Frank has finished his lap, a 134.0. And that concludes your qualifying with John Ranger on pole position for the United States Grand Prix on just, I think, one run.
Absolutely brilliant from the Red Bull driver to keep it P1. And I wonder if he had more in the tank, but even so, he is P2 right now. Simon Colston did invalidate. I wonder if he would have gone quicker, but Stelios Repas did not go quick enough to be even in the front row, and we would normally expect him to be there. The Vera almost got Stelios Repas too, and he's in P5. So the two Red Bulls are in great positions. Of course, the two Alpines are as well. Alfa Romeo did pretty well indeed. So we have 10 laps. Should be on the medium tires, soft if you're feeling a bit ambitious, but 10 laps of just full on push, no need for strategy. So we will see what will happen in the sprint race. This is a great opportunity for anyone towards the back to make up positions to be starting from in the feature race. Matteo is going to use this to his full advantage here. Probably one of the best races to have a qualifying ban at. Not that I'd encourage you to go get one, but starting from P16, we'll have time to make up positions and just improve his starting position for the main race. Like you said, top 8 get points. It goes 8 points for first and goes descending from there. But yeah, go ahead.
The Circuit of the Americas, remember, lots of heavy braking zones, lots of corners that are deceptively wide on the entry before tightening on the exit. And this is a circuit where mistakes can be punished. The sun is setting over Austin, Texas, United States of America, as we get ready to start the 10 laps of the COTA Sprint. As I see the beautiful Minecraft rendered faces over there in the Paddock Club, or the virtual Paddock Club, I should say. We've got 10 laps. Who do you think will be on pole for the main race?
I'm putting my money on Tino, my toonie, as John Ranger would say. And on a night like this, I hope you all brought at least one juice box, but I've got 2 here. So I'm going to pop my first one open, pop your first cold one open if you've got 2. But like you said, we are about to start. Who do you got?
I've got John Ranger. He's going to defend.
John Ranger, and here we go.
We'll see.
We have 3 lights, 4 lights, and 5 lights out for the sprint race, and here we go. It looks like it's a decent start for the Alpine of Tino, but not good enough to get John Ranger at the start. We go on board into turn 1. Will it be 3 wide? No, it won't. John Ranger going defensive, but the Alfa Romeo of Simon Carlson going around the outside. He's still keeping it on the inside for turn 2. He's going to maybe get it, but no, he's been caught out just a little bit. John Ranger still leads from Tino. They're going side by side through the S's. Tino backs out of it. Then we got more wheel-to-wheel action with the Ferrari of Mac and Stelios Repas. Mac trying to challenge for that P4 position in the first few corners of this race. But so far, we are 1 by 1 racing. It looks like combined YouTubers getting challenged by Logan PSQ just a little bit. And Logan kind of pushes combined off, and he makes that position. And before turn 11, now he might get dive bombed around the outside, but he doesn't. So great racing here. And now Simon Colston is getting challenged by Stelios Repas, but Stelios does not get the move done. So does that allow Mac to get the position? No, it doesn't. Magnus and Cube, what do we see here?
Lots of action on this opening lap. Everyone except Simon Colston on the medium C3. Simon on that soft tire, which hasn't proved to be particularly durable or good in any way in the sprint. Logan tried it in D1 and he fell off the face of the earth by the end of it. So I don't know, some bold strategies from the Alfa Romeo team principal here. See some beautiful fighting. Simon has to use those softs now if he wants to make up any track position, because those softs will die in about 5 laps. He needs positions now.
Yes,
John
so
Ranger leads at the end of the opening lap. And go ahead.
out to the battery goes Simon Carlson. He's going to try to run the outside into turn 1 on lap 2. He's just barely there. He's got a nose in for turn 2. So going for it now. He's onto the battery, and it looks like he'll have made this position unless they go side by side through the S's, but they don't. Simon Carlson up into P2 here, and now chasing after John Ranger in the lead.
He has... Simon needs to make these positions up quick, because those softs are going to lose advantage. Oh, big slide there out of turn 9. That's going to invite Tino to go right back at him into turn 11. Let's see. Heavy on the brakes. Left-hand hairpin. There's another long straight, but Simon has a little bit of a chance. He has better traction. He has superior low-speed grip, and these low-speed portions of the lap are where battles could be won or lost, really. As we see Combined YouTuber and Rigraph going right at it to get. Combined is right at it again into turn 11. Now is into 12. The Australian gets that move done and is up into 7th place.
Yes, into 7th place, as you say, and I wonder, like we were talking about in qualifying, will we see any moves into turn 15? We know a lot of people are confident about it, and Logan is going to try challenge Rigraph here, but no room for him to do so. Will he go for it into turn 19? Looks like he's a little bit too far back to do that, but was sliding a little bit through the big right-hander, copied off inside ball, as you say, and now he's been overtaken by Sid. What a great move that was from the Ferrari driver to make it P9, and now it looks like Dan might be able to challenge Logan PSQ here. He's onto the battery. Will he go for the inside line? Yes, he will. He's side by side with the Alfa Romeo before the braking zone. Will he make the move here? Down to inside. They make a little bit of contact, but it looks like the Williams has made that move for P10. And now we look back to the front to see if Simon Carlson can close up this gap. DRS is enabled, so if he can keep it close to the Red Bull, he will have a great opportunity into turn 12.
Great chances, but it'll all be dependent on the exit of 11. Half a second is a gap as we see Big Mama Frank spinning at, I think that's turn 7, and he is down and out in last place. And let's see here, 5.5 tenths of the difference. If Simon wants to do that move, he has to do it quickly, but he is nowhere near close enough. Into turn 12, that isn't close enough for Simon Colston. And now he has to be a bit careful here, because the probability of overtaking decreases in the faster corners, and he has to keep those soft tires under control for the end of the lap. Remember,
He seems
a combined
to be
YouTuber.
He seems to be a little bit quicker, Simon Colston, through Sector 3 more than anywhere else, so I wonder, will turn 1 be the more favored move for him? It looks like he might be a little bit closer here, but not on the battery, so he's not going to go for the move here. And we go on board with Combined YouTuber. You're saying something?
Yeah, he was about to be pulling out a DRS, but Sid Sadger has caught that back up, and he is well within a second of the DRS as Combined YouTuber runs very wide. That's going to allow the Ferrari. That's going to allow Sid to be right at him. Going to be a battle between two D2 steps, two mainstays in Division 2. But let's see. Simon Colston has never been closer. This might be the opportunity that wins him this sprint race. Those softs will be dying very, very quick. It's a C4. It's fragile. It's susceptible to overheating, and it isn't very durable. We will see. The Alpines, not a chance there. Actually, Combined YouTuber on Sid on Combined is going to be not a chance either. Dan is past Rigraph as Logan sends it down the inside. That's brave. And now Rigraph gets position again. And it's 3 wide into turn 13. Moves into 14. Try has the inside. Logan will have the outside. It'll turn to the inside for this left-hander. Very tight to the apex. This is one of the best battles in D2 so far. Then they go right. They go right a bit more. And I don't think there's going to be much in the way of opportunities there for Logan to send it. But that's some great racing from Logan PSQ. Sending it. I know he lost places, but it's not a bad thing if you try.
Yeah, now we have Sid on Combined YouTuber making that move that he would have liked to make in turn 11, but like you said, good racecraft from Logan PSQ until he got a time penalty, and now he's being overtaken by Mateo. He's gonna try and keep it here, I think. Is Logan? No, he backs out of it. But like you said, what a send that was from the Alfa Romeo driver into turn 11. Lost a bunch of positions though. Did gain Rigraff lots of positions too though. So first time penalty goes to the Alfa Romeo driver, while the other Alfa Romeo driver looks to be a bit too far behind now to be thinking about a move, and now he's finally on the battery. So I wonder what he's trying to cook up here. Fully onto the battery, and now he's off it. He's looking a bit close though. Will he be able to make the overtake here though? No, he will not, unless he gets a nice switchback, which he doesn't. So I'm not really sure what the strategy is here for Simon Colston. Does he try and stick with the Red Bull until maybe, just maybe, he can make a move closer to the final laps? If he does so, that'd be a great strategy, but I can only see his tires going down from here.
It'll be a difficult one for Simon, especially at the end of the race. But Combined YouTuber has got past Sid Sadgear, and yes, Logan, PSQ, the first driver to fall victim to that time penalty. I said it earlier that those penalties were going to become a problem, and I've been proven right. A driver already has a penalty.
Absolutely, and I wonder if that was accumulated within the battle with Mateo. And now it looks like Mateo is going to go for it on Rigraff. He's going to try and run the outside into turn 1. Will he make the move? Stick. Rigraff does keep on go defensive, but Mateo has taken that around the outside, and now he has an inside line, and now he has made 12th position. Not 12th, 10th position. Catching my words a little bit, but still somehow Simon Carlson looks a little bit close here. 5/10 is closer than what he had last lap. And now he's been actually overtaken by Stelios Repas, who all of a sudden has been unleashed on the Alfa Romeo. And now Stelios into P2, and now the other Alpine of Tinel is going to try and take the Alfa Romeo as well. And he's in third position right now is Tinel, but Simon Carlson has backed out of it. So now the two Alpines making quick work of Simon Carlson on his soft tires, and now they chase after the Red Bull of John Ranger.
I said it, those hopes are going to die as Sid Satgear round the outside of turn 12. It's going to go back to Combined YouTuber. It's going to be a long one. Oh, Sid with a bit of oversteer there. It's going to turn to Sid's line. Combined could try a switchback here, which he has. He is close, but this corner is not an overtaking opportunity. I still remember the end of the 2018 race. Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton was an amazing fight, as we have Rigraff getting gobbled up by the pack behind him, and Logan gets the move done at the turn 19, and it's going to continue to turn 20, actually, the final corner, and then it's going to be a long run up to the line as we continue. Labib is going to get the move done. Let's see, he's got it done, but the first corner, he's gone very deep. He's cut the corner completely. The fight with Logan here, this is some hard but fair racing, and the position is there for Logan. Labib has stayed in 13th, while Rigraff is just falling to 14th place.
Yeah, Rigraff really not choosing his battles well, lost him lots of positions here as Logan gets another time penalty in, I believe it's the 8-9 chicane little complex there. Yeah, it's 8-9. But, yeah, Rigraff not picking the right battles, and Labib going for a move on Rigraff, and it almost looked like it'd be a double overtake into turn 1, which would have been absolutely crazy. But even so, it looks like Rigraff is getting a little bit closer, but Labib is... Whoa!
Labib! Huge crash!
And Labib is out, and that's a full safety car in the sprint race here.
He's out of the race.
What a huge crash for the Mercedes driver, trying to make an overtake on Logan PSQ. And similar to what we saw with Lance Stroll and Fernando Alonso in 2022, going straight into the back and straight into a wall. Only this time, Labib wasn't fortunate enough to be able to keep going, and he is into the wall and out of the race. And Logan stays alive in P12, but what a huge crash that was going into the braking zone of turn 12.
Massive accident. That is something I haven't seen before in a league race. A driver losing it under DRS. Rigraph and Rigraph here, getting rid of those mediums for the soft. Does he have damage to repair? Doesn't look like it.
You just want soft tires.
Yeah. Straight on a fresh set of softs. You can't blame him for it.
Yeah, he was near the back anyway, so he can only make up positions now with, I think we'll only have one lap. Actually, this will be the only lap of the safety car, is what I'm trying to say. And
yeah,
so,
the only one.
Yeah, Rigraph will have a little bit of time to try and make up positions. But, this kind of helps Simon Colliston now. I feel like under racing conditions, he would have only kept on dropping. But, we will not have any more DRS, I believe, in the sprint race. So Stelios Rebus and Tino will have to try and beat John Ranger on pure pace, which I think they might have.
Let's see if we have the tire. If we could see people's tire wear, it could be done, but the safety car will probably be in at the end of this lap, remember? And it is 2 laps of racing after that huge shunt for Labib. And it is going to be in at the end of this lap.
Yeah, and so we'll have John Ranger in the Red Bull to take us away. We only had 1 lap of safety car. That's all we needed for the marshals to be safe. I think we might have just had a collision somewhere in there in the safety car, but no penalties given out. I swear I saw Simon bump into someone, but it's alright. We keep on moving. We'll see what John Ranger does. We had 3 safety cars last night, and all of them were taken. The restart was taken at a different point. Someone took it as early as turn 19, I believe. Someone took it at the straight. Someone took it through the final corner. Lots of different opportunities to take it at. Safety car is just coming into the pits now, though. So John Ranger, it is up to him whether he can keep this race win or not.
It is going to be up to him to drop the trigger, and he has dropped it. He's dumped the field away as we start lap 9. So here Stelios Repas is off, and off they go for the restart here, the Circuit of the Americas. We already have Javier going a little bit wide, and Logan already getting aggressive. And we have Rigraph. Ooh, Rigraph, just bullying people left, right, and center. That is not normally a place you want to overtake, but the difference on tire life that Rigraph has, it is so dramatic that he is just gonna have to be pushing people around the corners. That's how the situation is for him. He has got a tire that's 2 seconds a lap quicker than anyone else.
It's absolutely, and making contact with plenty of drivers on the way to make these positions up. We'll have Dan into turn 11, into turn 12, I believe. But then he has a little bit of a gap to make up to Logan PSQ, who we know can get his elbows out, so Logan might be a big hamper in Rigraph's progress. It's Try making a move on Combined YouTuber into turn 12, doing a great job. And then Rigraph still on the soft tires, ready to catch up to Logan PSQ, who has dropped out of the DRS of Mateo.
No DRS, remember. Only 1 lap remaining and a bit.
Very, very true. And just look how Rigraph catches Logan through even a flat-out corner, and he's getting closer and closer to the Alfa Romeo. It will definitely be a move into turn 1. Just way better grip out of the final corner, and here we go. Rigraph going for the inside line right away. I think he'll have this move well done before the braking zone of turn 1. He might not, though. Logan might try and fight it, and he does, but won't be able to fight it good enough.
He is not going to have any opportunities on finding that. You're finding a brick wall if you want to dive there.
Absolutely. And now Rigraph sets after Mateo, who is 1.4 ahead. I think we'll see that gap going down quickly, and we already are. He's almost to within a second, which doesn't matter as much as it normally would under racing conditions, but anyways, we move. No moves being made in the front right now. Stelios Rebus and Tinel not making any progress on the Red Bull. Simon Colliston still standing his ground on these soft tires. That safety car must have helped him a lot. Now the 2 Alpines swap positions. Tinel makes an overtake on Stelios Rebus. We are on the final lap of this sprint race. So, unless something happens to John Ranger in these final few corners, we will see him win the sprint race. We have lots of action in the background here. Looks like BMF is being overtaken. Lots of action between Mateo and Combined as well. Mateo having the outside line for turn 15. Can he get the switch back on the Williams driver? He will try it, but I don't think they'll have it. Yeah, no, nothing doing there. So we look on board to John Ranger going through turn 19 now, and to the final corner goes the Red Bull, and he looks to have won this sprint race very, very clearly. From pole to P1 in the sprint, T-Nell and Stelios Rep Bus P2 and 3, Simon Collison from the soft tires P4, Mac and Avira 5 and 6. Then Sid, Itchrai, Rigraf just missing out on the points from the soft tires, and then Mateo, I believe, followed him. We'll go to the rest of the order in just a little bit here. Not a bad sprint race at all. We almost never see a safety car in a sprint race, but yet here we are. And what did you think of it overall?
Pretty fun, lots of action, lots of overtaking, and this will be the grid for the Grand Prix. John Ranger will lead us away from T-Nell, Stelios Rapace, Simon Colston, Mac, Avira, Sid Satgir making up places, Itchrai getting the final point in 8th, Rigraf making great use of that soft tire to finish 9th, Mateo making up 6 places, Combined YouTuber falling 3, Dan falling 5 places, Big Mama Frank, 15th. Kiwi remains in 14th, unfortunately. Logan PSQ, his 6-second penalty, dropped him well out of proceedings. And Labib will prop up the field after his crash earlier on in this race. We will now see who gets to win the United States Grand Prix. And can Stelios become the world champion of Division 2?
Looks perfectly sunny, and it looks like there will be no rain to spice it up here. So it is only going to be pure pace and strategy tonight here. As you said, Stelios Rapace can be our champion today if he wins, and his teammate, I think, DNFs or just doesn't finish in a certain position. But
P3 or lower.
P3 or lower is what Stelios needs for his teammate. So we will see just how much John Ranger gets in the way of that, or maybe the two Alpines get in the way of each other a little bit. I've got my second juice box popped open now, so get your snacks, get your second cold one, and let's get ready to go racing here at Circuit of the Americas. Very sunny, probably a little bit dusty, but we are ready for it. Normal strategies will be hard to medium. We'll have about 1.5 laps more of fuel, and everyone just adjusting their setups a little bit for the race, getting ready to go here at COTA.
Who do you think will win? And it is going to be
John Ranger. Here we go with the lights. 4 lights, 5 lights, and the 5 lights are out now. Very early start, and it looks like it was an okay start for Tino. Once again, we'll have the inside line for turn 1, but he's being attacked by his teammate as well. So Tino going for it into turn 1. He's got the inside line still, but now John Ranger still keeps the lead into turn 2. Simon Carlson being a little bit aggressive here on Avira, and Avira has dropped it down plenty of positions. They go side by side through the S's Rigraf into P6. And they make Avira's off, and a little bit of front wing damage for the Red Bull, and who else is off? That's Mateo, who's also off. I don't know if there's any damage on the Mercedes, but definitely damage on the Red Bull of Avira. Let's get all this stuff on and take us through it here.
Right, John Ranger leads, but Tino is all over that Red Bull gearbox. It is one Red Bull leading, and the other is at the back of the field. So you can theoretically say it's a Red Bull sandwich, but for how much longer, will you ask? Big Ma Frank, I think, has got off at turn 11.
And Tino has gotten the lead from the Red Bull of John Ranger, but John looks to fight it back. Does he go around the outside? Yes, he does, but can he keep the move? He still has the inside line for the next corner. Does he go for it? Yes, he does, but will he have the advantage here? It looks like the Alpine will have this position. Does he go for a dive here? No, he doesn't. So this is our order of 4 now.
Try to get the switch back. Not quite, not much of a straight there to get any lap time, but Tino leads the United States Grand Prix, and it is Stelios, Mac, Sid combined, Dan, Labib, Kiwi, and Big Mama Frank on the hard tire. Mateo, Rigraf, Shry, Simon Colson, Ranger, and Tino on the medium, and then Avira at the back of the field, who I think will pit on the soft compound tire, which he'll probably get rid of right now.
And he does, to replace that front wing. So, with both of our top two on the medium tires, we wonder if there will be a fight. And honestly, I don't know what the strategy is here for the two Alpines to fight together here, because Stelios Repas is on the hard tires, so I have to wonder, does TNL try and back up John Ranger a little bit so he can kind of feed him to Stelios Repas and then they fight together, or just do they race as they race? We have no idea, but it's all about waiting for the DRS to come into play, and then that is where most of the strategy will be for now. Let's go on board with Simon Collison. He's onto the battery. He wants to get past the hard runner of Stelios Repas. So does he do it into turn 12? He's going to try and throw it around the outside, but Stelios defends it nicely, going for the switchback, and he's already got a time penalty, cutting turn 12, and he has gotten a time penalty already. So big moment for the person trying to fight for P2 in the championship while he sees his rival in the lead of the race here.
Yeah, it's a big one. First person get a penalty, and definitely very, very early, only lap 2. But Tina leads, and I think, watch out for Stelios toward the end of this race. He'll be on the medium tire. He'll have a tire advantage over everyone here. So that could be something we have to watch out and see how that plays, because no one will really know how this race is going to actually play out just yet. There will be people getting back in the train. Stelios will have a chance, I think, later on to get back in. But it'll be tight. It'll be how much he gets, how much of an opportunity Stelios will get to close up. Then we'll see if he can really keep it there, because those mediums will drop off quicker than a hard.
Yeah, the question is, can Stelios stay in the DRS of John Ranger? It looks like he will be able to just. But we look to John Ranger now. He's quite close to the Alpine, but he's gone very deep into turn 11, so I wonder, does that allow him to still make a move? He's onto the battery. He will have the DRS, and Tino going very defensive, John Ranger having none of it, so he's going to try around the outside into turn 12. Will John Ranger have the move? Yes, he will. Blazing past, and now Simon Collison goes for it on Stelios Repas on the medium tires. Simon trying to make up this position quick, but Stelios Repas has a fight back here. He's got the inside line, forcing the Alfa Romeo wide. Does Simon still try and fight it? I don't think he does, and no, he doesn't.
It's just a bit of a futile fight in the end as combined YouTuber. It's past, I think, Rigraff and Logan, but watch out for Logan. That is some good defending. That's some very bold attacking from the Alfa Romeo driver, and he is going to try and make a move everywhere he can. Logan PSQ, he is like one of those IndyCar drivers who he's a bit like Kevin Magnussen.
Simon Collison again. Sorry, on Stelios Repas into turn 1. He's got the move done this time. So finally clearing the hard tire runner as we expected
watch out
him
for Stelios. Not quite.
Not quite. Sorry, I interrupted you. Go ahead.
No problem. Logan PSQ will make a move wherever he possibly can. He is a bit like Kevin Magnussen, absolutely full-blown, elbows out racing and nothing else. He does not care wherever you are. He only cares about the possibility of the dive bomb. Avira gets the fastest lap of the race, but he is all the way in last, over 30 seconds behind leader John Ranger. So it's still the Red Bull sandwich at the head of the queue.
Yeah, and he pit back onto the soft tires, which kind of confuses me, but maybe he's looking to just make another pit stop onto the hard tires and take those to the end of the race. T-Nell not able to fight back with John Ranger, who is taking back the lead of the race here. So John leads, and then we have our top 3 all on the medium tires, opposed to what we had a lap ago. So Stelios Repas is doing a good job staying within the DRS of Simon Collison, but for how much longer? No time penalty for the Alpine driver, and he's got Mac right behind him, who is a bit of a sleeper, all in D2, but always here to fight for this P4 position.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting ending, remember. Stelios Repas will have a tire advantage near the end of the race. And Matteo, the next driver, with a 3-second time penalty, he has got one. Well, running in P14, who will be the next to get a time penalty? Surprised that Logan hasn't got one already, considering he got 6 seconds in the sprint. He's maybe keeping it a bit more careful, treating the track limits as more of something to think about and not an afterthought.
Yeah,
but we'll have to wait.
Track limits are just a recommendation.
Real.
But anyways, he's done a good job of keeping it in between the lines. He's not really chasing after combined YouTuber as much as he'd want to, though. He is in the DRS and combined YouTuber is not, so that is the advantage that Logan has right now. And I wonder if he knows that.
Yeah, indeed.
And he's not going to go for the move into turn 12, but our two leaders are getting pretty close to each other real quick, so better check on that. Nothing doing so far, but I'm not really sure how to tell who has more pace right now. I mean, John Ranger or T-Nell. Both really quick on paper. Whoever gets past.
Whoever gets past has the most pace. It's that simple.
True, true, true. But that could change however many times we want. But as I remember, Ferrari strategist once said, if we stay in front of all these other cars, we win the race, or something of that nature.
If we stay in front of Bottas, we win the race. Turkey 2021, the Intersect Grand Prix. But this time, there's no intermediate tire in sight. It's only, I think, the mediums and the hards that play the majority role in this US Grand Prix.
Yeah, as you brought up plenty of times, the hard to medium strategy I think is just going to pay off a lot more than the medium to hards will towards the end of the race. I definitely targeted a hard medium strategy for my race, and that worked out beautifully. But of course that wasn't really a one-stop race after all, and Sterling Sharpas goes a bit wide out of turn 9. So I wonder if he got a track limit penalty. Yeah,
still on the DRS, he's fine.
Yeah, doing a great job. Simon Carlson has a little bit of a slide out of turn 11, but that won't allow Celis really to do anything, and Simon has actually dropped out of the DRS. So will T-Nell go for a move for the lead into turn 12? Yes, he will. Down the inside, the Red Bull of John Ranger still tries to make it, but that is a beautiful move from T-Nell. John Ranger has nothing to do but concede that position.
Let's see here at the end of the lap, because there's a lot of overtaking opportunities that could aspire. It's down there at turn 1, up there at 11, and the whole final sector is just an overtaking paradise. We'll have to wait and see who gets the overtakes done, though. Wide for Ranger, very wide, and then it's going to be the DRS. But T-Nell has a bad exit off the final corner. How will this impact proceedings? Not much. Ranger is nowhere near close enough for even a surprise lunge at turn 1. That would make Daniel Ricciardo proud. 6 laps done in this US Grand Prix, remember? And a lot of overtakes. And we're not even a quarter of the way through.
Yes, and another one just made by Dan in the Williams, who's on the hard tires, and Rigraff on the medium tires. Would not be happy to lose that position at all, but he will have to deal with it for now. We look towards the front again. John Ranger is not too close to T-Nell, but Simon Colliston is right behind the Red Bull, and he slides his way through turn 11. So just the exit of these corners is really impacting proceedings as we would expect, but no positions being changed in the top 5. So we look back to this little exciting pack, starting from combined, going all the way down to Labib. Labib might actually try and make a move on Rigraff. He's going to try and run that outside for turn 12. What a lunge that was from Labib, but he hasn't made the position.
No, doesn't have the tire grip to do it just yet. But the hard tires are going to be oh, Dan has had a massive slide out of turn, I think, 13. That has definitely lost him a lot of time.
Still close. So John Ranger only about 4/10 behind. I wonder if that would have been odd to go for a move into turn 1. He hasn't done so, but that would have only spiced it up a little bit. But now we'll see, does Tino escape the Red Bull just a little bit, as much as he needs to in Sector 1? That could be the difference between the race win or not. But that is, of course, with the question, does it even go to either of these two with Stelios Boss on the hard-medium strategy?
Yeah, it'll probably. I think maybe someone at the back of the field could try maybe even a soft, but I don't know. It's going to be unlikely that we'll see much of the softs in this race, aside from Avira. It's making up some solid ground on the field, but he'll probably more than need a safety car to get there. It is going to be time. Ranger blows past Tino. There's not going to be any opportunities for the Alpine driver.
Yeah, Mac tried to challenge the Alpine driver of Stelios Boss. Stelios hasn't had as much pace as he normally does here, and he's now under, or just around 10% battery, as he has a huge slide.
He's spun!
Yeah, he's spun.
That's a spin!
He's going to have to bring it around the long way, and he has dropped down to 9th, maybe 10th place now. Huge moment for who could be our championship winner tonight.
Well, he won't be a champion after that spin.
Especially,
it's gonna go down to the wire.
Yeah, especially if his teammate could win this race now. And that was crucial because we were talking about it so much. He was on the hard medium strategy. Now the other Alpine's getting very close to the Red Bull, and he doesn't do anything there. But as I was saying, his strategy was looking to be one of the best ones that we would see tonight, and now he's kind of thrown it in the bin.
Yeah, he's gonna need a safety car at a lucky moment for that to happen, but it is what it is. But Stelios Repas, well, that might be commentator's curse on you. It's coming.
Yeah, I'm gonna say no comment so I can not be at blame, but go ahead.
It is coming from the same person who correctly I somehow predicted Max Verstappen having car problems at the 2022 Australian Grand Prix, like 1 lap before his retirement. I just knew it. Let's watch Tino here.
And
he's gonna get close. He's gonna get past on just before the braking zone. But watch out for Range. He's gonna go down the outside once again. This could invite Simon in the brawl a bit. And Ranger's gonna have the inside line for 13. Simon is a little bit boxed in here. The track can only fit so many cars. And they make a little bit of contact, so that it's going to impact them. Look at the switchback. Nowhere near enough for John Ranger to make the move. Simon, huge slide there. Almost loses the rear of the car. Oh, that almost harked back to an F122 style spin.
And funny enough, it looked like he gained time while he slid. So now we are back, and Simon Carlson is so close to the Red Bull. I don't think this is his time to be making an overtake, though. He's just going to have to sit tight here.
He's going to have to sit very close and wait for Tino to fuck it up a bit.
Lovely way to put it. And he's got a battery advantage on the 2 cars ahead of him, does Simon Carlson, by about 10%. So
another slide for Simon. I don't think that is going to allow him to make many moves, but they're going to have to be all the way down into a braking zone or out of a corner. See here.
And John Ranger onto the battery a little bit, onto the DRS now. Will he be close enough to the Alpine by the time the braking zone comes? He's onto the battery, though. Will he try for it anyway? He's going to go down the inside. And it looks like he'll have this move, but Tino goes for
Tino taps him a little bit.
He's going for the switchback, but John Ranger had covered it off, and straight into the back of the Red Bull went the Alpine.
Yeah. The Williams says swap places. Or do they? Yeah, they do. They do swap. And Dan with a slide again. Bit of WRC driving here. So this is not a tarmac rally stage, this is a Grand Prix track. The tires used in these Grand Prix tracks are not meant to allow for much in the way of drifting, should I say.
I don't know if it's like an internet thing, but these two Williams look very, very unstable through the high-speed corners. They were sliding all over the place through that big right-hander. but it looks like they've sorted it out now on the straight, which it would be bad if they didn't. But yeah, swapping positions. As you say, Logan tries to go around the outside of Combined YouTuber, does not get it though. The tire marble is going on his tires like we were talking about earlier on. And so now that that has happened, I actually got to point out that Mac has gone back into DRS. And with him being on the hard tires, maybe, just maybe, he could do exactly what we thought Strepas would do. And now that I've cursed him, there we go.
He doesn't have that much of a chance, but he does have one. At least he can try, because Stelly is going to be stuck behind these guys, and he'll need, I think, an undercut to make anything. To make use of his tires. But the problem is, he's on the same tires as everyone else. I think really we'll have to wait and see how things are going to go.
Yeah, and
Combined is passed down.
Pino has used a lot of his battery here, and John Ranger really hasn't. So, advantage swinging away from the Alpine driver here.
Yeah, and indeed is. Not much in the way of opportunities to do something about it.
Yeah, he was on the battery for a little bit out of turn 11 last lap, but he wasn't able to even get close to the Red Bull. So that is just what the battery advantage does for you here. But he either saves his battery and launches an attack like that is a bit more effective, or he goes for it now and then just has to defend again. So I wonder what the decision is for the Alpine driver here. He's quite close through Sector 1. Then we'll see what he does here. Still, I think it's going to be time.
It's going to be pit stop time very soon. Who will get the undercuts? Get ready for it.
And not onto the battery for the Alpine driver. A little bit used from the Red Bull, and Simon Carlson is sitting pretty with his 84%. But I think this is signaling that we will have one of these drivers pit here, if not both of them.
It's going to have to happen. I think it's going to be Ranger, because his pit indicator is up. But we will see who has the pit indicator closed or open. It is time for the pit stop window onto the medium tire as we end lap 12 here at the Circuit of the Americas. Let's see. Ranger doesn't pit. Tino dives in for that undercut. This is something that could spice up this race. Tino pits at the end of lap 12. I think now Tino could well be leading, but we will see how powerful that undercut is and whether he'll rejoin out into traffic.
It's
gonna be the...
Yeah, he'll have his teammate right in front of him by about, I'd have to guess, like 3 to 5 seconds ahead. No, it's going to be a bit more than that, and now he has the AlphaTauri of Kiwi right in front of him. So I'm not sure if that was the best time to pit, unless he can just clear this AlphaTauri, but he will be significantly quicker than his other two leader buddies here.
Yeah, he'll be quicker, but if he's close enough to the AlphaTauri, then he'll be stuck behind in the sections where his tires can really make the difference. Let's see, Avira comes into the pits for a set of hards. That'll see him through to the end of the race.
So Tino's going to make quick work of Kiwi here. Itchrai and Sid are fighting up ahead. Sid is up into P4 behind his teammate now. He's kind of been... I mean, I haven't really noticed Sid too much in this race, but now that he's here, this could be a good position for Sid to be in here.
Yeah, quiet work. Good work. Quiet work. Let's see. Ranger, he has to respond. He does respond. At the end of lap 13, he's into the pits. Simon Colston assumes the lead from Mac, and I think Sid dives it into the pits as well. We'll have to wait and see who will be ahead. I think it'll be Ranger. Maybe Ranger. Slightly ahead here, but we'll have to really hold on. And it won't be Ranger at all. He's been undercut. I think he's fallen victim to that undercut. He's going to have to catch up to Tino. And Tino takes the lead of the US Grand Prix as expected on that undercut. We see Big Mama Frank and Logan PSQ also getting rid of their... Big Mama Frank is really getting off the hards this early. That's an interesting one. First hard under the pit. Logan pits. Rigraff has been onto the hards for a while. Here's a snap out of the first corner, and Avira is a long way behind the leader. Over 50 seconds. It's been a bit of a extended test session for him, really.
Yeah, John Ranger has lost a lot of time already to T-Nell. He's around 2 seconds now, so T-Nell has done pretty much all he needs to do, but the question is, in front of him, what's the deal with all this traffic? First off, he has his teammate, so I wonder if that's going to be an easy move, but then he has the likes of Labib, Dan. The two Williams are going to be very difficult for him to clear, because it'll be at least a lap or two more for these cars to be ahead of him.
True. Combined YouTuber, though, as usual, is not on a lot of battery. Labib. Let's see. It's going to be one of them. I think T-Nell is doing... Stelios, oh my god, the Alpines.
They actually do make contact.
They do. Stelios goes off so far, goes wide, as Labib and Combined are going to get off their respective tires. Combined here onto the medium tire. Labib onto the medium tire as well. It's going to be Combined strategy, and he'll be the one out ahead. And he will be the one out ahead of Logan too, with a tire advantage. So this will be something to note for Logan. He'll have to pass a car in much, much newer tires. Now I think it's going to be time for Ranger to get past, but Ranger is not falling victim to Stelios' DRS games, and Stelios has done the exact opposite of what he needed to do. Ranger has DRS on him. That's horrible news for Stelios. He doesn't have DRS. He only has a bit of tone, a bit of battery, but that can't just overpower the DRS enough.
I was thinking that the two Alpines would have worked together to try and delay John Ranger, but like you said, Stelios completely missed the mark there. So now T-Nell is completely vulnerable to the Red Bull behind, while he's got the Williams of Dan ahead of him.
Yeah. It's gonna be time for, and it's, look at Dan here just blocking T-Nell all the way around. Just absolutely not a chance of an overtake. It's going to be not into 19. That is not a corner you're making a move. As Matt comes in, and so does Dan. And there probably is a huge sigh of relief from T-Nell, finally being allowed to run in a bit of clean air. As Simon Colston leads this US Grand Prix, he is yet to stop, so he's doing a bit of what I like to call the Altmere strategy, which is start very late, which is a late stop onto the mediums, and he'll have the tire advantage at the end, I'd say.
Yeah, only thing is that he won't be pitting onto the mediums at all. He's on the hard. Yeah, we'll be onto the hards.
Combined on Logan here. Sorry to interrupt, Nathan, but the Combined defends well from Logan. His tires are sure to getting older and older. He was one of those people that just pitted onto the hard tires. Pitted very early. Try and get a bit of an undercut.
What a beautiful shot.
Yeah, beautiful shots of the first sector of Coda, and it is a lot of time that Logan loses in that opening portion of the lap. That is a lot of lap time Logan is losing in the first sector. That is a lot of time to lose, especially in a part of the track like that.
Yeah, and he's not even gonna be able to overtake Combined here, so he's losing plenty of time.
He isn't close enough at all to make the move. You know, Logan is pretty hard with his racing, but it's going to be a tough one for him to get past. Combined, Simon Colston pits as John Ranger has caught up to the back of T-Nell once again, and Simon doesn't pit for the mediums. He's gone onto the softs, interestingly. straight on the softs. That's going to be a long stint to pull off on a tire that hasn't been proven to be particularly durable this weekend.
Yeah, he didn't have the mediums as the option because he did start on the medium tires, so it would have been the hards or the softs. So I'd say softs was the only right call he could have made there.
I think it's just a game blocking him because on the balanced option, you only get one medium tire for the sprint and the race. I swear he probably he had the mediums for he chose the softs for the sprint, he's choosing the softs again. He's going to get past Stelia's red pass, I think, very quickly here. He's just waiting for the DRS, and it'll be a move as easy as 1+1, really. It'll be an academic move. Those soft tires are absolutely no match for a set of dilapidated hards.
Yeah, now Mac will get the move done on Stelia's red pass as well, and he might even get the move done on Simon Collison, but that would be a bit early and against tires that he has no advantage over.
He's going to have the advantage in about 5-6 laps. Not now.
And Mac is about 5 and a bit seconds behind where he would want to be here on his medium tires, who he will have advantage for. He's on probably the best strategy here. So let's see how fast they can close to the top 3 here.
Sid Statgear, a 17-lap stint on the hards. That is amazing tire management. He's been proven to be a bit of an overcut meister, and it might be a different season, but you don't lose the skills you gain early on in your career. I've had to race Sid with an overcut, and I think I got him, but he lost so much time. I think he got past me, and then the safety car just happened to come in. The safety car just happened to come out, and then I had to make up 7 or 8 places to go back to where I was, which was P2, I think. I had to dive him out of the way, which was a bit dirty. It's an interesting one. Now, John Ranger is in clean air here on brand new tires compared to a very old set of hards that is probably crying enough, and it's going to be straightforward as 1+1 is for John Ranger. And now T-Nell could lose this race if he doesn't get past Sid on time. He could well lose this race. Let's see. He's not past him yet. He's not past him at all. He's lost the DRS.
He's trying to go for it here on the battery throughout this entire right-hander. This would be huge and very bold if he does, but no, he stays behind. And as you said, out of the DRS already. He is only falling away from
lap for Sid. The longer Sid Statgear takes to relinquish that P2, the worse it gets for T-Nell, as Simon Colson is right there. T-Nell finally gets past him, but that's over 1.5 seconds he has to now make up to get back to where he was.
Yes, absolutely, and only with 3% battery while John Ranger has 30. So that is a huge turning point in the battle for the lead of the race here. But something you gotta pay attention to is the rate that Simon and Mac, well maybe not Mac, but Simon is closing. He was 4 seconds away like about 2 laps ago, and now he can see he's in the DRS of Sid right here. So I don't know if he'll get it. I think he will, and yes he will.
This is horrible for T-Nell. Sorry to interrupt, but this is horrible for T-Nell. He's losing a lot of lap time, and Sid is in that DRS. That is race over for T-Nell. He's going to have to be content with P2, I think.
Where did
That's race over for him.
And now he's getting overtaken by Sid, even. And Sid has overtaken T-Nell here.
T-Nell just doesn't have the tires anymore. I mean, he wasted too much time.
He wasted
way too much time. He's going to finish 3rd, at best.
Yeah, and Simon Carlson overtakes a pair of them.
Yeah, Simon overtakes both of them. I said it. T-Nell's going to finish at best 3rd on the track.
And maybe not even that.
This has ended his race. Simple as that.
Because now Mac is... Sorry, go ahead. I'll let you finish here.
This has ended his race. It's as simple as that. And Mac is within DRS. But finally, Sid Statgear hits. And there must be tears of joy coming out of T-Nell's face to find out that Sid is getting off those hard tires for a very for an interesting stint, and same with Stelios Repas, too. So, gonna be a long one.
Well, I
It's
feel like...
Satgare. Very big overcut Meister, but we'll have to wait if he can pull this one off. He's on significantly fresher tires than anyone else. He has a golden ticket, really, to score anything, and Stelios Repas is down at 15th. Wow.
Wow.
And Kiwi gets past Mateo. Kiwi gets past Mateo. That's a great move. Congratulations.
Congratulations, indeed. But, let's go back to the front here. It looks like Mac is going to try and make a move on T-Nell, who has only lost positions now, and the Ferrari just blazes right past him. So Mac is in a position where he could be P2 at the end of this race, but, you know, Simon still has the small tire advantage over John Ranger. It will keep on going away, and so Mac could win this race. It will be very, very tight, but he could win this race.
The chances of that are pretty unlikely, I'd say.
Yeah, but now that I think of it, this was all a Sid Sadgari master plan, holding up T-Nell and absolutely throwing him to Mac, and he's done exactly that. He's pulled a little bit of a Checo Perez moment, and here we are with Mac in a position of P2 right now.
That incident with Sid just absolutely torched T-Nell's race, and it is fair to say that T-Nell has a chance of being on the podium, but Simon's on softs, and they're the freshest tires out of anyone in the entire top 9 here. Yeah, scrap that, they're the joint third freshest tires out of anyone. So it's going to be interesting, because Sid's going to make up places like there's like nothing. He has got over a second and a half of over 1.5 seconds a lap of tire advantage on the softs, and he'll still have much better tires than anyone else.
Yeah, and
it's just as simple as that. T-Nell's race is done here. The best thing he can hope for is for Simon or Ranger to get penalties if he wants a podium.
And Simon into that DRS of John Ranger now, so will he go for the overtake sooner or later? We'll have to see. He does have a time penalty, so will it matter, is the question.
Gonna have to happen sooner rather than later, because those subs don't have infinite durability. They're gonna hit the cliff at some point. They're gonna hit their drop off. And Sid gets past Logan, and Stelios also gets past Mateo. We see start of lap 22 here at Circuit of the Americas as Sid Satgare is gobbling people up left, right, and center. That man is very quick now. That overcut. He is the overcut meister of ZRL, and only in a game where, if done correctly, the overcut is incredibly overpowered. He could do very well. Combined YouTuber down to 7th. Whoa. John Ranger has a time penalty. John Ranger has a time penalty.
Indeed he does, and now he's about to get gobbled up by this Alfa Romeo of Simon Colston. And this is absolutely huge in the race, and not for John Ranger. I mean, yes, for John Ranger, not just for Simon Colston either, but for Mac. As Simon Colston goes for the lead of the race, and he takes it with minimal effort. But now, the question is, will the top two be the winners of the race? I don't think so at all. I think it could be Mac, who's now in the DRS of John Ranger. So I'm sure there's a huge grin on the Ferrari team principal's face of Marcel Pabst, I think. And because not only has Sid done his strategy to perfection, where he could finish probably P5 at best, but now he's got his lead driver potentially in the position for a race win.
Marcel Pabst, if he's awake, which I don't expect him to be awake, it's 3 AM in Austria, he's going to be waking up with a huge smile on his face if he sees that Mac has won this race.
I'm on board with Sid right now, and the grip he just has is amazing. He might even get a move done on Ichira right now.
Yeah, he's going to get it done.
Yeah.
He's going to get it done immediately.
With no battery. And there you go.
He's just got the tires to do it, you know? Very good planning. He's going to be P5 for sure, though. He's on very new tires. I don't think he's going to get to P4 unless Tino spins or crashes, but he is definitely going to get the P5 here. He's going he gets a penalty.
I think he can still do it, though.
Yeah, I think he'll still be fine. His tires are still fairly new, so that's fine with him. Now let's see. Mac on Ranger. This is going to be a battle. An interesting one. Mac can't really afford to play it that safe because he is going to lose a ton of places if he doesn't do that. If he does do that, he could well lose this win. Because Simon's on fresh softs, and they're still fast. Fresh softs.
They'll be fast for at least another lap or two, I would say. But still 1.5 behind Simon, so he needs to clear him right now.
Yeah, the softs are still going to be the fresher tire. They're 6 laps old, not 9 laps old. 7, 10, 8, and 11 for Tino.
Well, as Logan's trying to go around the outside of the big right-hander, and he goes very wide, so he's not going to be able to do that here, but yeah, he's getting very close. Whoa, it's a huge moment for Labib here, and nothing doing right now, but Logan has the DRS, so will he go for a move into turn 1? No, he won't. We look forward a little bit to Combined YouTuber, not able to make a move on Itchry. Does have a little bit better tires, though, the mediums. Sid is very, very close to the Williams. I expected him to make a move last lap, but he did not do so. So this lap is make or break for Sid if he wants P5.
He's not going to get it because the tires are getting old, but he is still going to be faster. And it is a strategy well done, I think, from Sid Satger here. He is known as the overcut meister of ZRL, and well, he's just done it again today. You can't tell this man to not overcut you to hell and back because he will do just that. He is very methodical in his race approach. It's a strategy that I think was a bit of an outlier in 22 as he gets passed down, but on this game with the tire advantage you get is very, very powerful indeed. And now we have Combined YouTuber get past Shry, the Haas driver. And now Big Mama Frank here gets past Rigraff. These are going to be fighting for a bit more. Kiwi's going to have a chance. Not there yet. 4 laps to go here at the Circuit of the Americas. Simon Colston leads this Grand Prix from Ranger and Mac, but it is important to note Simon Colston has penalties. He has 3 seconds. Everyone except Logan has 3 seconds of time penalties. Logan has a whopping 9 seconds of time penalties. And now I think it's going to be high time Sid Satger drives Dan out of his out of that DRS zone because he needs to do that if he wants P5. He's probably going to get P6, but we're not sure about P5 here, and it's probably not going to happen, is it?
No, but here comes Mac on track for P2. Another pet penalty for Logan as the Ferrari of Mac goes for P2, and it looks like it will be a move very easily done. He did want to clear that Red Bull because it was blocking him a little bit from the 3 second of Simon Colston, but now he'll be able to only make up time on the Alfa Romeo, and we will see if he can keep this gap under 3 seconds.
Yeah, I think he probably will keep it under 3 seconds, but it's going to be dependent on Simon Colston getting his penalty removed because he did get his on lap 2, I think, which I think one of those warnings could be a bogus one. But we'll have to wait and see the reports after the race for it.
Yeah, maybe even ask him about it. Go ahead.
3 to go here in Austin. Tino, I think, is well out of podium contention at this point. He's just going to have to sit home for P4 and back off because he's not going to get anywhere. Same goes for... I think he's got a huge gap to the rest of the field, but not enough for a fastest lap attempt, maybe. But he's still going to call it a bit of a pyrrhic victory, a bit of a hollow one for him. Look at Stellies. It's not been a great day to be an Alpine driver in D2. So, yeah. It's a hollow one for Tino because he was fighting for the actual win until Sid Satgir turned up and said absolutely not. But it is what it is at this level. You sometimes do have to get past people as soon as you're given the opportunity to.
Yeah, now I can only think about how this opens up the championship battle. We still will have a three-way battle for the championship win in the last round in Mexico. So Simon will get the maximum, not the maximum, but quite a lot of points here in Coda tonight. If these results stand, then T-Nell will be closer, I think probably within 5 points of his teammate, who is P11 right now. So lots of questions raised about the championship here.
Yeah, lots of questions, and Stellius Red Pass is going to be ruining that opportunity of him spinning out of an easy podium, of a possible podium position, if not even a win. He is going to be, I think, P9 or P10, but for how much more? 2 to go here in Austin. And Simon Colston's lead is being eaten up ever so slightly. Mac could get in that DRS and win this on track. And I think Simon's tires have started to give up a little bit of performance. Those softs. 10 laps in. He is not in DRS, Mac. I don't think he's in DRS. He's going to have to bide his time. He is in the DRS. Yeah, he is. I was a bit confused with the detection, but this will be game on at the end of this United States Grand Prix then. It is game on. And the Ferrari driver needs to go really high down for setup. He's only gaining about 10 kilometers an hour at the end of the straight there. This will be an interesting ending to this US Grand Prix. And Sid Satgir needs another full second on Dan to end the party and go home in P5. Great day for Ferrari. One of their cars is probably going to be the victor, the race winner on penalties, or after penalties, I should say, and the other is in the top 5. At worst case, top 6. And we'll see. Start of the final lap.
Yes, and I don't think Mac will go for an overtake into turn 1, but I think with the rate he's going at right now, he will have a solid chance into turn 12. And as you said, Sid needs one more second on Dan, but also crucially, he's closed up so much to T-Nell. T-Nell has just dropped off hugely. I don't think he'll get the move done, and if he does, he won't get the position because of his penalty anyway. But still, big points to focus on right now. T-Nell losing out on very big win potential, as well as Stelios, his teammate. John Ranger goes off in the 8-9 section. So let's actually look towards the lead of the race now. Mac going pretty deep into turn 11 all the time. Now he's fully on the battery, and now he'll be on the DRS soon too. So now
he's gonna have a chance here. He's gonna have an opportunity. All or nothing here. It is the last lap of the Grand Prix. Not in the turn 12 for Mac. Oh. He is the leader, but look at Ranger. He's gone up the inside. Ooh, trying to get the switchback, but Mac just says absolutely not a chance you're getting it. And it's going to be another blockade into 15. And it's a good blockade. I think Mac has won this race fair and square here, Coda. And I don't think Sid Satgir has pulled enough of a gap to get there. Round the final corner, Simon Colston wins on track, but it is Mac who wins the US Grand Prix after penalties. It's going to be a solid drive from T-Nell, one that I think got ruined by the strategy. He's going to end at P4. Sid's going to end at P5, which will be P6 after penalties combined. YouTuber, solid result for him in P7. Stride down in 8th. Labib in 9th. And that will be another 3 second for Logan PSQ, who will be dropped so far back, he is going to probably lose out to both Big Mama Frank and Kiwi. And he's going to be down to 13th in the end of that.
And Navir, after a very unfortunate start to the race, will be the last one to cross the line to finish the race.
Yeah, an unfortunate one.
He's out of fuel.
Yeah, it doesn't matter for him at this point. What can he do about it?
And
he's
that
out
is
of
the
fuel.
conclusion.
Yep. That ends the United States Grand Prix.
Well, what a race it was, though. We had lots of turning points here today. We had turning points in the lead, turning points even in the championship. So, a very exciting finale we will have next week. But it is time to focus on our race winner, Mac. I believe this is his first win of the season, if not of all time.
Yeah. It is, I think, his first win of all time, but we will have to conclude that. Probably should be his first win in the league, because I don't think I've seen him win before. But it is. Congratulations to Mac for winning the United States Grand Prix. From Simon Colston, John Ranger rounds off the podium. The pole man couldn't follow the sprint win up. Tino down in 4th. Dan up to 5th from a very solid 12th. Sid Satger making up 1 place. Combined YouTuber making up 4 places. Shry holds the starting position. Stelios Repas, the disappointment of the day, falling 6 places due to a spin. Labib 10th. Big Mama Frank 11th. Kiwi 12th. Logan PSQ finished in the top 10, but had 15 seconds of time penalties. Rigraf, Mateo, and Avira are your last classified finishers. Until then, until next weekend, see you.
Oh, we got interviews.
Yeah, we got interviews.
Alright, first up. Sorry, go ahead.
Get Ranger.
Yep, John Ranger. P3 finisher here in Coda. Here we are, John Ranger. How you doing, man?
Almost like last weekend, a bit disappointed, starting on pole, getting the win in sprint, I was expecting a P1 result finish. After the pitch strategy, I got ahead of Tino, once I got past Sid and I made a gap between Sid and Tino, I think I got a little bit complacent. I felt like I just had to, put my head down and keep on going and try to just manage my tires, but at the end, Simon somehow had some crazy pace on those soft tires, and you start thinking, oh, I might win a race, and you get a little bit nervous, so a couple mistakes being made, silly mistakes, get that 3-second time penalty, and before you know it, you find yourself P3. So that's a bit of an anticlimactic finish for me tonight.
Yeah, well,
yeah, let's
I just want
get our P2 man on, Simon Colston.
All right, thank you, John.
Yep, thank you indeed.
All right, P2 goes to Simon Colston. Welcome to the interview booth. How are you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm right. Stuff?
Yeah.
I'm doing.
How was that race?
Yeah, it was good. Enjoyed it.
Yes.
What happened with you in the penalties? Was one of the warnings completely fake, or all legit?
Just all legit, probably. I got 4 off tracks in the first 2 laps. Don't know why, and then didn't get another one. So yeah, I just guess poor consistency from the beginning, but yeah, happy race, fun race.
All right.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Enjoy it.
Have a good evening, guys.
You too.
Let's get our winner, Mac, on board.
All right. First race win in Zoom Racing League for Mac. How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm doing very good. Talk us through your race.
I mean, team principal recommended hard mediums, so went with that off the race start. Got to shout out my teammate as well, going extra long and I think holding up T-Nell and did Red Bull, so that was a big help. But once I saw that closing the gap on mediums, felt pretty confident to at least get to a podium spot.
Yeah, I mean, you did a great job with the strategy overall. We were talking about originally Stelios Repas, who was on the hard medium tires, seeing what he could do. Then he spun out. So then it was all on you for the hard medium strategy. And then, of course, your teammate helped you out a bunch, staying out as he did. But yeah, I mean, you did all you needed to do this race, so great job on your first win here.
Thank you.
All right, good night, man.
Let's go. Good night.
All right, so
Anyway, it's time to end off this broadcast, and then the final race of the season, February 5th, Mexico City. Until then, enjoy the rest of your week, and goodbye.
good night, everyone.